Hey everybody, Scott with Birdsong Guitars and all kinds of fun guitar and bass building enterprises here at the Wingfeather Workshop in Wimberley, Texas. Today we're going to talk about the Cbass. Yes, this is the long-awaited Cbass demo. And what you see behind me is what we're going to be comparing and contrasting. You see the Birdsong Cbass, and you see what is one of the greatest Fender P basses I've ever played. This is the instrument that I use to dial in the Birdsong Cbass that last little bit of the way. The Cbass is what happens when you combine a small, balanced, lightweight Birdsong Corto bass and the mojo and tonal profile of a really good P bass. Now you can see there's a couple of differences here. The first and most obvious being the size. Birdsongs are small, short-scale basses. On a large-bodied person, they play like a guitar. On a small-bodied person like me, it's the difference between being comfortable for 3 sets a night and not being comfortable for 3 sets a night. And you'll also notice there are some differences. It's not just a shrunken P bass, because that doesn't work. The truth to me is what comes out of the speaker, and that is what I was trying to emulate with all the advantages of a Birdsong, and not necessarily the exact way that this one was built. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the features on these. First off, let's talk about that size. Let's talk about that the neck, 31-inch scale, 24 frets, standard 34-inch scale, 20 frets. The overall length of a Fender Precision, about 46 inches. The overall length of a Birdsong Corto bass, or variation as this is, about 40.5 inches. The reach, which is what I calculate by taking the midpoint between the strap buttons measured to the nut, is a sort of an rough indication of how far out you'll be reaching with it hanging on you to get to the nut, the first fret area. On the Precision it's 28 inches, on the Birdsong it's 24 inches. Weight-wise, this is an exceptionally comfortable Precision bass. This is 8 pounds 8 ounces. This is 6 pounds 8 ounces. So it's 2 pounds lighter. It's shorter, both of which will help it to balance better. So this balances perfectly, as I'm going to show you on a strap here before too long. And this one just sort of neck dives, you know. So let's see. As far as specifics go, everything on this is a little bit smaller than a P bass. It's just scaled down appropriately. The nut on this one is 38 millimeters, like a jazz bass type of nut, and on a Precision, this is about 40 millimeters. As far as string spacing at the bridge, this is 18 millimeters. I'm sorry, this is 20 millimeters. This is 18 millimeters. So it's just a little tighter. It's not a make or break deal, especially not once you strap the instrument on and you feel it as an entire experience. Those little numbers that we tend to obsess over, they're important, but they're not that important taken as individuals. You strap something on that's incredibly comfortable and balanced, your fingers aren't going to care if it's a millimeter difference in string spacing. I promise, they're not. Okay, so let's get on to the tonal portion. Okay, I have strapped on the vintage Fender Precision. This is a real deal vintage Precision, by the way. It's not a relic. It has obtained all of this use naturally through uncountable owners because it's worth playing. That's what happens with an instrument that's worth playing. When I see Birdsongs or anything I build come back to me 10 years, you know, from when it was made or whatever, I want it to look like that. This is just great. But this is the best of the best. This sounds like you plug this in. I'm just saying this because I don't know whether it's going to translate through the microphone, but this is the bass you plug into an amplifier and you play, and you instantly hear every classic 70s or 60s rock or soul, Motown, blues type of bass line. It's that bass, it's that tone. Okay. So this is an exceptional one in that it does not weigh a ton. It's comfortable. even for a die-hard short scale guy like me, because I'm kind of short scale myself. However, you know, if you let go of the neck, it does kind of disappear on you. And that's even with a relocated strap button back here. If you move that up about you know, an inch or two from center line, that helps the balance a little bit. And even that, whoever did that, good work, but you know, it's just huge. So, but we're going to get a good tonal profile on this one, and then I'm not going to talk. You're just going to see me have the Cbass, and you're going to hear something very similar, which is the whole goal of this. Okay, so here we go. Great P-bass tone, all right? Here we are, and this is with the BIRDSONG Cbass. Now you'll notice I could totally let go of the neck on this one and it doesn't go anywhere. And that's even with this cheesy old slippery nylon woven strap, like the worst strap to keep anything in place. And so here we go. It's pretty darn close in here. Okay. And then also what happens with a Cbass is you don't just get that kind of mellow, old P-bass type of thing. You get, and I'm going to put the volume back up all the way here, and the tone up all the way. Aggressive, more 70s, you know, maybe late 70s P-bass type of tone, maybe even into the 80s, a little almost like an aftermarket pickup. This is a DiMarzio, and it does both. You just back it off, and it mellows out. Back up. And that's a nice strong voice. That's going to cut through mix. And you're not going to have it cranked for it to be heard in the mix. There's plenty of mid-range content there. And that's a combination of the way it's built, and the way it's designed, and the pickup, and the way it's placed, where it's placed, the different woods involved. It does make a difference. I reverse the format of the pickup here, because if you have it the standard way, the D and G strings sound very thin, and the E and A are the meaty ones. Well, what this does is it just flops the second coil up, and what you get is it gives these thin, twangier strings the benefit of the doubt, gives them a little more beef. So it's very even string to string. No big changes going from the A to the D string. This is a poplar body. Standard is poplar, maple, rosewood, with a classic looking maple headstock, cloverleaf string tuner buttons, and a vintage tortoise control plate. Can also do various pearloids, old school knobs, and chrome hardware. It's decked out and ready to go. To get that would take an offer that I couldn't refuse. And also you have to search through piles and piles and piles of old P basses to find a magical one. They're all good tools. It's a great design, but they're not all that. Okay? Every one of these is like this. Every single one. And I'd like to make you one. So there's the Cbass. And let me see if there's anything on here that I didn't talk about. No. We covered it. We're good. Just for the record, same strings on either bass. I used Diodario Chrome's ECB 82 45 to 105 flat wounds. Same strings. So what you're hearing is really, and the amp wasn't changed. Everything's flat to GK 400 RB, and everything is set flat. So what you're hearing is the difference between instruments, which tonally, coming out of the speaker, not much. All right. So with our little giant, I bid you laters. BirdsongGuitars.com. Scott at birdsongguitars.com is the email, or info at birdsongguitars.com. Find me, Scott Beckwith, on Facebook. Find Birdsong Guitars on Facebook. And 512-395-5126 if you have any questions. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Wing Feather Workshop channel on YouTube. Have a great day.